Hello, and welcome to this special edition of CTV. I'm Anthony Sanchez. Later on today's show, we are going to see an inspiring story of a teacher and his career, and later, a trip into an extraordinary coffee house, aka the Mud House. And CTV starts now. Our first story is about a Center High School teacher, Mr. McGinnis. This video is produced by Monique Cougar, Jordan Street, and Arnold James. And me. Let's take a look.
Well, there's a lot of great moments when you teach. It's hard to pinpoint just one. Sometimes it can be a student that, hasn't been doing very well, very successful, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's like the light goes on and they make this big switch. And you can just tell their attitude, body language, they just look like they're, happier, they're getting it, and that they actually like coming to school and being a part of something. So there's been quite a few of those types of moments. And then really glad to see people graduate that, especially, being able to follow them for a few years because I'm in the, teaching the MCA. It's really great to see, people from, freshman year and all of a sudden, in 4 years they're out there and they're ready to go. So it's always great to see that. I was pretty fortunate. I just had some really strong teachers when I was growing up, especially in high school. I had two teachers, especially there was Mr. Stewart and Miss Fellows, and they team taught a class, and they were so passionate about their subject matter and connecting with the students that, I could tell they just love what they did. And I go, that's kind of what I want to do, when I grow up. And plus, I've always loved learning. I mean, I think it's just a great thing. So for me to be able to hopefully pass that on to students, and I kind of got that through my teachers. And so, it's always kind of been there since high school. One of the other reasons I wanted to become a teacher is that, my grandmother was actually a teacher back in like the 30s and 40s. And she always told me it was really fun to be a teacher. A little different, obviously, with the kids and the way the education system's set up than it is today. But she always kind of inspired me to, to do well in education, do the best I can. Also had some other influences, some of my best friends. In high school, I had a couple of them had their parents were teachers, and so I kind of was around that environment where they just had high expectations for my friends to do well, and that kind of I think played off on me too a little bit. So I had a lot of influences about wanting to be a teacher. I think really what it was is they were just always very positive with me in terms of just talking about what it is to be a teacher. I got a lot of different types of answers, but basically it all came down to the point where people felt satisfied with what they were doing as a teacher. They felt they were actually, making a difference, which I know is kind of a cliche, but, it's really nice when you can see, a student, really kind of just, turn around and, be successful. And that's kind of what it's all about. It's not every student, but the ones that, really get that, that love of learning, or at least understanding how they can be successful. To see that change in them is really a big part of why I like being a teacher. I think I just want to be remembered as a caring teacher, that I really wanted the best for my students. Just to be really supportive of them, not just in high school, but hopefully later on in life. I get to follow up and see how well they're doing, and hopefully they're being very successful.
Now it's time for the news you can use with Jordan Street in Studio One.
Thanks, Anthony. Here's what's in the news today. Girls varsity golf signups with Miss Weaver in the girls' locker room on Thursday, May 12th, right after school at 2:40. The dance team tryouts is today from 3 to 5. Today's AP test is macroeconomics. Seniors, it's time to request a final transcript to be sent to your college or to NCAA. Requests will be made in the Student Center. The Sportsorama Night Rally is Friday at 6:30 in the gym. The cost is $2. Seniors who plan to attend a four-year college in California must take an English placement test and the entry-level mathematics test by May 7th. Go to the College and Career Center for more information. This is the last week for after-school detention. Don't miss out on crossing the stage because you missed your detention. That's it for the news you can use. Back to you, Anthony.
Thanks, Jordan. Our second feature was actually a famous editing assignment called The Mud House that we worked on earlier this year. We had to use footage taken by someone else and create an interesting story about a coffee shop in Springfield, Missouri. Here it is.
The great thing about the Mud House is that once you get your drink and sit down, there's a lot of great artwork.
Everybody knows to come downtown to the Mud House for a great cup of coffee, but nobody wants coffee when it's 105 degrees. For coffee shops like the Mud House, there is one way to beat the heat, and that's to offer refreshing, cold drinks.
You know, during the summer months, we ice most of our drinks. A lot of our customers still need their caffeine fix. So, you know, if they usually get a latte, they'll come in and get a nice latte instead.
Well, pretty typically, I like a nice hot cup of coffee, but in the summer, it's really nice to just come in and get a cool drink.
And here's the joke of the day. What has 100...
Stop. Let's start right there. Here's the joke of the day. 3, 2, 1.
Here's the joke of the day. What has 100 legs but can't walk? 50 pairs of pants. This wraps up our special edition of CTV. I'm Anthony Sanchez, and thanks for watching CTV.